Northern Illinois Huskies, and certainly no stranger to Detroit, as it's their third consecutive trip here for the Mid-American Conference Marathon MAC Championship game. And we're proud to have Dave Doran, head coach, Jordan Lynch, quarterback, and Sean Krogar, defensive end, joining us here at Ford Field. And we'll let Dave open with a comment, and we'll take questions.
Thank you, Ken. Just very excited to be back and to defend our championship and have our third straight MAC West championship. Have these two guys who were here, doesn't seem like very long ago, for the preseason meetings, and to walk down that tunnel again is a lot of deja vu, which is a good thing. And just really excited about the matchup. I think Kent State's a terrific team and very well coached. It's been a great week of preparation. I know our guys are excited to play, and feel really good about our game plan, and just wish I could get here tonight instead of tomorrow. You know, the wait's going to be tough, but you know, we're really excited about the opportunity to go out and play tomorrow. So with that, I'll open it up.
What does it mean to be in a controlled environment here this time of year as far as operating and executing plays?
It helps. I think it helps your kicking game a lot too. You know, especially last week it was tough, playing the blizzard. But you know, there's certain quarters, you know, at this time of the year where you kind of can't kick off a certain way. And obviously, when you get in a game like this where it's 60 minutes of no wind, that's a pretty good situation, I think, for both football teams. And I know for a quarterback, probably just to know that there's nothing that can get in the way of the football that way. And, you know, it's a great venue for a game as well. So look forward to that.
You talk about your quarterback. Obviously, if he's in any other conference, you'd be talking Heisman. You know what I mean?
We are talking Heisman.
Honestly.
We have been for a while. So I think Jordan is very consistent. He plays hard. He's a leader. He's tough. He's productive. He's competitive. He plays the game with passion. And wears it on his sleeve, and is a great representative of our program. And you know, we don't let him get a big head. We make fun of him a lot too. But he does a great job representing our program, and fun guy to be around. And I know the defense appreciates how hard he works as well.
Yeah, Jordan, could you talk a little bit about the pressure, how you're dealing with the pressure of the Heisman talk and this championship game?
Yeah, you know, the Heisman talk and everything, you know, it's great to have a campaign, you know, the Northern Illinois, the committee and everything, just, you know, putting together a campaign, that's great. And, you know, I try not to focus about it, you know, all that stuff's for the banquet, I like to say, and, you know, we're just worried about, you know, coming back here and just winning another championship.
Jordan, could you talk about your success running the football and the kind of threat you are and why you're so successful at it? Nobody's been able to stop you.
Yeah, our guys up front and our running back, you know, do a good job of, you know, getting to the second and third level, blocking, and you know, just lowering my pads, you know, just continuing runs, and you know, I thought those guys did a great job. You know, they make the holes easy for me.
Jordan, when you came to Northern Illinois, did you ever envision that at some point in your career they'd be talking about BCS, Heisman Trophy, anything like that?
Yeah, coming into this program, I knew we were up on the rise, and you know, Coach Kill, you know, did a great job. You know, he recruited me, then Coach Doran took over, and you know, sky's the limit when Coach Doran came, and you know, we're doing a good job so far. There's just a lot of guys on this team that just love to get after it and love to play football.
Can you talk about your opportunity now to play in this game after being here, obviously, and watching?
Right, yeah. Yeah, just being here, watching it, you know, for 2 years in a row, got a couple plays, and you know, now that I'm starting, you know, it's a dream come true. You know, being in a game like this. Ever since I was little, I was always thinking about the big game and playing in championship games, and you know, it should be fun.
Sean, could you talk about the Kent running attack, Dre Archer, Trayon Durham, what it'll take to stop them?
You know, they got a good offensive line. I think that's where it starts, especially if their right side, their left side, our right side. So it's going to take a physical game up front. That's one of our goals, to dominate the line of scrimmage as a defensive line. And obviously, Dre Archer and Durham are both good running backs, and we're going to have to tackle well. That's what it's going to come down to: tackling well and squeezing holes. And they're going to get their plays, but as long as we continue to do what we're supposed to do throughout the game, we'll be all right.
Yeah, Jordan, everybody talks about your running ability. Do you think you're underrated as a passer? And Coach can talk on this too if he wants to.
Yeah, I would say so. You know, I think because I run the ball good, you know, people have that knock on me that I can't throw. But you know, I'm a quarterback first. I like to throw the ball first if it comes down to it. You know, between running and throwing, I'd rather throw it. So yeah, I think I have the knock on me, but I think I throw the ball, you know, fairly well.
Do you talk about your one quarter against Toledo when you threw for 296 yards? Did that kind of
Yeah, I would say that. I mean, if you watch that quarter, it was, you know, a lot of guys just, you know, making plays like Martell, the first play coming out of the third quarter. I think he went 75 yards on, you know, just a 2-yard throw or so. And, you know, we had a lot of great catches, and we were just in rhythm in that quarter.
Can you talk about having a receiver like Martell?
Oh, yeah, Martell's great. You know, he's a senior, and he's playing like it. He has great senior leadership, and, you know, whenever things start going, you know, a little downhill for us, it seems like he's always the guy to step up and make the play.
Sean, can you talk about early in your 2 careers, what it was like defending him before you knew who he was going to become?
We could tell Jordan was going to be a good guy as soon as he came in. Not only what he could do on the field, just his work ethic in general. I think that's something that you notice right away if you're around Jordan, is his work ethic and, like Coach said, his confidence and his competitiveness. And as soon as he came in behind Chandler, you know, he followed in his footsteps and worked behind Chandler, and they helped each other get better. And Jordan's obviously a dual threat in my mind. I don't think he's only a runner because he passes on us in practice too. And I'm excited for his success, and I'm hoping we finish it in this game tomorrow.
Coach, you guys blew really Kent State out last year. What is the difference when you look at tape between the 2 teams?
Well, they're a very different team. You know, I think since that game they've only lost twice. So, you know, I don't know what changed, you know, from that game on, but obviously they improved dramatically. And they were still trying to figure out who their quarterback was. Spencer actually, I think, got benched going into our game, and he ended up playing again as the game went on. And, so I think, you know, when you're taking over a program, and I was similar at that point, you're still trying to learn who your players are early in the season and what you have and what you don't have and how your systems need to tweak. And you think you know what you have until you start playing games, you know. And after that game, obviously, Coach Hazel and his staff did a very good job of changing things to fit their personnel. And their players obviously have improved throughout and developed. But they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. Obviously, they're on a roll and apparently had a great offseason from a leadership standpoint because they're a different football team than they were last year.
Coach, could you speak to what's on the table, not only the MAC championship, and I know that's the primary thing, but the possibility of a BCS bowl game? What it would mean to the league as well as to your program if either team were to go to something like an Orange Bowl?
Well, it's been a great year for our league. I mean, there's 7, 8, or 9. I'm not sure the number of BCS wins in our league this year amongst the different teams. And you know, it's a year where there was a lot of continuity in the league. There was a lot of good football teams that we had great games with, and not just on our side but the other. I mean, we got to see Bowling Green play a few times, and I thought they were a really good team with Ball State and Toledo. So it's a balanced league, and to end up with 2 11-1 teams at the end fighting for a BCS game, I think whoever wins the game is deserving because of the talent level and the productivity in our conference this year. But yeah, I think it means a lot. You know, it's something we all talk about is putting our program on the map. And getting in a game like that surely would help.
What's it been like this week to kind of have your program and the conference join a national conversation like that?
It's been rewarding. I think, you know, a lot of times our players don't get the attention that I think they deserve, and I'm sure the other coaches in the league would share that sentiment because most of us are in states where there's other schools that get a lot more pub than we do. And so to have a week where, you know, 2 11-1 teams garnered a lot of attention, I thought was great for the programs on both sides.
Dave, the MAC championship games have come down to the last minute last few years. Just talk about the challenge of handling the emotions of the ups and downs of a possible close game.
In a big game, I think it's paramount that you play one play at a time. You know, and you don't get too up and you don't get too down, and you just focus on what you need to do every play and execute. And, you know, the adjustments that take place in a game like this between 2 really good teams are important, and that's going to be a big part of the football game. How the coaches adjust, how the players adjust to the speed of the game, and you know, we expect a 60-minute game. I mean, when you get a big game like this, that's how it should be, and if it doesn't end up that way, it doesn't. But I know our guys are prepared for that, or more if we need to be.
How fortunate do you feel to have a quarterback like you do that takes care of the ball? Because,
right.
I mean, they basically are second in the nation. You know, enforcing turnover, 22 picks, and yet only 4 this year.
Well, that's the key to the game. You know, I think when you play every game, turnover margin's the #1 statistics for wins and losses. And obviously for them, that's the #1 reason, aside from, you know, the rushing attack that they have, in my opinion, that they're where they're at. You know, all the interceptions are plus 22 maybe, turnover margin for them. It's remarkable what they've done. And so for us to win the football game, that's going to be a huge part of it. And obviously, body of work that Jordan's had so far indicates that we're in a good position to keep doing that, but we know that they do a really nice job getting their hands up with their defensive line. They've tipped balls at the line and created 8 or 9 interceptions this year. So finding lanes to throw is going to be important in our offensive line, keeping their hands down. Their safeties are good ball hawks in the back end, and they have a couple linebackers that are around the ball. So we've got to be precise, and we've got to catch the ball, and we've got to protect it to do what we want to do and keep our defense in good field position.
Jordan, your coach talked about, being in states where there's bigger programs and where maybe you don't get as much pub. What's it like to be at that school, like at Northern Illinois, where there isn't a lot of attention like the, Illinois and Northwestern get?
Right, yeah, we're just a bunch of kids at Northern that just, love to play, no matter, who shows up or who's watching or who talks about us, we're always going to play our A game. And, we do deserve, we do feel like we do deserve some respect out there, and I feel like we're gaining that as the years go on, but, no matter who watches or what, we're always going to put our A game on the field.
Is it tough sometimes not to kind of get the attention when you feel like you're working so hard?
At times, I think if you stop and think about it, it could be tough. But once again, we don't even stop and think about it. We just go out there, just play football.
For both players, is obviously maybe with the two teams ranked with the BCS out there, it's maybe more attention nationally watching this game. What would you like the rest of the country to know about what the MAC and what's like playing in the MAC about your teams?
Well, that our conference got ranked, fourth best conference in NCAA, and the MAC's it's not to be overlooked. Anytime we get a chance to play on national TV, and when the spotlight's on, the lights are on, and anytime we get a chance to play a BCS team, we're gonna put our A game out on the field, because at times we feel like we can be playing at those teams, and we got overlooked coming out of high school.
Yeah, Coach, of all this talk about the BCS and other local teams, how do you think the MAC compares to the Big Ten?
I don't know. It's I haven't been in that league for 2 years, so it's hard to say. I think we're very competitive. I'd like to play a bunch of them, and then I can answer that question. We didn't get to do that this year, so I can't really give you a fair answer on that one.
Sean, when you play a team like Kent with 2 big running backs, is it easy to forget about the quarterback?
No, we're going to do what we do all year, and what we've been preaching on defense this whole year is stop the run, and then we'll worry about getting after the quarterback. Obviously, we know the quarterback takes care of the ball, and he can drive their team down the field if he has to. But I think we're going to focus on number 1 and number 34, and if we can shut them down, we feel like our offense is going to have enough firepower to score points, and we'll be fine on defense.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about Archer?
Yeah, it's he's fun to watch. Defending him is a different story. It's a great challenge for our guys, and he's not just a fast guy. He accelerates and changes direction, but he does run with a purpose and great tackles, and has great vision, and has great reaction to where holes go. And so we've got to squeeze blocks, restrict lanes, and tackle well, and that's easier said than done. And our kicker's got to do a great job as well. I think where you place the football so that they don't have the ball on the 38-yard line every time they get it, or worse. I think that's their average starting position right now. With all the sky kicks they've been getting, that hurts your defense. So he's a great football player, and I know our players on defense take pride in trying to defend a great player and stop him, and that's something we've done multiple times in the last 2 seasons, and we look forward to that challenge again.
Looking forward to defending him?
Oh, definitely. Like Coach said, he's a great player. There's no denying that. But at the same time, we think our defense, playing the way that they are and the way that our coaches are putting in position to make plays, we should be able to hold him to a smaller amount of yards than he's been getting. But at the same time, we know he's going to get his plays. And as a defense, we're going to have to continue to play and not worry about the ups and downs and just stay confident throughout the whole game.
Coach, is it a matter of picking and choosing when to challenge him, so to speak, and when to just go ahead and boot you? You seem
The kicks?
Yeah,
we'll have to
so
see.
many different
Yeah.
things.
We'll have to see. They've lined up a couple different ways back there too, where sometimes there are some places you can sit the ball down where you're not going to get a return, and so part of it will be Tyler Weedle, and he is a very good kicker. Without a wind and in the environment we're going to be in, it might be a situation where we think he can kick the ball out of the end zone, and so if he can do pregame's gonna be pretty big on what we end up deciding to do with some of our kick placements, just watching them kick.